Hey y'all, hey.
I need to stop. I'm gonna walk off so I can go get it up.
What you been doing?
For me, just coming out there here, girl, and homeschool.
How's your other job? Okay, because I was like, I know she has another job. That sounds like so much fun.
Like, they should pay them. They need to pay the parents, teachers,
I'm
assistants,
sure they do.
jobs.
I believe you. I was excited. I got up out of bed just for y'all.
You did. You look great.
Thank you.
I feel like I woke up like this.
Listen, I got out of the bed. I got home from work and I was like, I need to take a nap and reset.
That's right.
Yeah. I had how Anisha was feeling last Tuesday is how I feel today.
How was she?
Emotionally distraught.
Aww.
Hey y'all, we're gonna get started in a few minutes.
Distraught. Oh, but what?
I was just tired. So I'm gonna go to the back.
No, you're supposed to stay here.
I can't listen to y'all and
Oh.
the comments and then because it'll throw y'all off. So I'm gonna tell y'all as we get questions.
Okay, that's fine. Or you can just turn the volume down.
Oh, you know? Oh.
I think that's what Asia be doing.
Oh.
She just wanted to leave
She's
us.
our new tech person.
It's cool.
It's a little bit, you know.
She just wanted to leave us.
She
I
kept
did
trying.
actually. I was trying. I was like really excited.
To leave?
No, to
Oh.
be here.
Okay, you want to get started?
Sure.
Oh.
You tell me what's up.
Sheridan, they say you do look great.
Oh, thanks.
you.
Who said that?
Yes.
Royal Robert.
I don't know who that is. How are you, Robert? I can't. Okay, let me stop playing with y'all. Okay, hi everybody. Hello. This is what, week 3?
This is week 3 or 4.
Whatever
We're
it
just in
is.
this
It's all
thing.
good. Yeah, we here.
We're in
There's
a
no
committed
time to
relationship
quarantine.
now.
According to 2020, shoot, it's been 3 weeks. We go together.
We go together, girl. We committed.
Y'all COVID boots.
Basically. That's what we need to talk about every time. All these COVID relationships popping up. Y'all know y'all don't like these people. But anyways,
It's okay.
for everybody that's new, my name is Sheridan. I am the owner of Untamed Lingerie, and I'm sitting with the beautiful.
I'm Minielle. I am the owner of Peace Beloved.
Yes.
And
And
Anisha's over there. She's the owner of Honey Dip Yoni Spa.
yes.
And Mielle is also the general manager of
I am
Yoni
the
Spa.
general
Yeah, I was
manager of
like,
Honey
what
Dip
is
Honey
Peace
Spa.
Beloved? This is
I
my
forgot.
first
She's
time.
gonna tell you about
I'll
Peace
tell you about
Beloved.
that.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I'm the general manager of Honey Dip Yoni Spa.
Learning new stuff on camera.
Everything. Y'all supposed to be telling me what this is.
Yes. Okay, so guys.
Talking about learning about new stuff.
I'm gonna put that in the caption too. You can put that on that one too. But
Sure.
we are here drinking Kin. So Minielle, basically, Kin is a non-alcoholic drink, and so they're called Kin Euphorics, and so they have one version called Dreamlight, which is like the version of like liquor without liquor. So it's like an upper. They have a lot of adaptogens, a lot of herbs that kind of get you feeling good, blissful without liquor. So they always say bliss over booze. And then there's another one called, I lost my thought. It's another one called Dreamlight. That's really good. That helps you go to sleep.
Knock you straight out.
I just bought some more today so I can be when I get home. So
I might need some of that.
yeah, it's good. So and then this is what we're drinking right now is Spritz, which is basically the high road with a mixer in it. Essentially.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's already mixed up. I'm gonna put the comment on both pages if y'all want to order for a discount, and then we'll get started.
I've been commenting on. What's your discount?
Oh, yeah, it's Sheridan Labbe for Bliss 10. No, it's really long. But yeah, today we're talking all things, everything. Well, not everything, but we're talking marriage, motherhood, sex, all of that. But tell me a little bit about Peace Beloved because this is my first time.
Oh, okay. So Peace Beloved is the sanctuary for Medivotion. We do Medivotion. Medivotion is the merging of meditation and devotion together. So it allows you to kind of like have that meditation that's just like centering yourself and getting relaxed, but then entering you into a space to like hear from God.
So people come for like, how's it work? So they come for a session?
They come for a session, or we do it on Zoom, right? Because it's COVID, and so there's group sessions, there's individual sessions, and so a session is the Medivotion thing. There's some a little bit of physical work, to kind of help you relax. And then there's the session, and then there's like beloved circle where we kind of talk about different things and that kind of thing. And then we have life coaching too.
Ooh, that sounds beautiful. Metabotion. I want somebody to use that
Metabotion. And then Yoni steaming it change a whole lot.
Yeah. All of it. Well, tell us how you got into Yoni steaming too, because we talked a little bit last week with Anisha about her journey, but tell us about your journey from both sides, Honey Dip and then Peace of Love it too.
So I started a kind of like a crystal journey. Okay, so I'm Baptist, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not really Baptist. I'm like, anyway, that's not the point. So I'm Christian. I was raised Christian.
Long story short,
I was Christian and I was raised Christian, and so I'm still a Christian. But God started me on this like crystal journey. And eventually, while I was going through the whole researching crystals and the like, I decided to. I had heard about Yoni steaming like on, I think it was Sister. No, it's not Sister, but it was their older version. You remember they had like one reality show where it was them, but they were older. You know?
No.
Okay, so they had a version like a while back. So they went steaming together, but it was in California.
Oh, like their reality show.
Yeah, the reality show. And so we didn't have them then. And then when I started this journey, I was like, it came back up. So I went looking, I asked a friend, and she told me about Honey Dip. So I came through Honey Dip and I started steaming. And then me working here was just a whole different situation.
Okay, well, y'all hiring. You need to.
We are.
Look, if
Can you please put that plug in? We are hiring part-time. You right on time, girl. Thank you.
Crazy. Because I was like semi-serious, semi-playing.
No,
okay. Well, then yes, we are.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
Okay, yes.
You'll be like, okay, I'll talk to you offline. That's so hilarious. I get so sidetracked. Okay. But that's exciting though. I guess I'm even more intrigued because I didn't know about Metabotion either. I'm like, I talk to you every time I come here.
No, we don't talk about that.
We talk about
yeah, exactly. That's right. Metabotion works good with Yoni steaming in the sense of both of them kind of get you relaxed and they kind of get you focused on you.
Yeah.
Because we always have all this other stuff going on, right?
Yeah.
So Metabotion is good like beforehand or even after because it kind of like brings you in. So when you sit on the seat, you're already there. You're not trying to work through your issues to get to that comfortable, relaxed state. Yeah. So.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
So it makes you real clear. So if you need to journal, you need to figure some stuff out, Metabotion would have already calmed you down. So by the time you sit down on your seat, you already connected with God.
Yeah.
And you can just go ahead and do what you got to do. So when you leave, you can be like, wow,
you like, I'm good.
I'm ready. Let's do what we got to do. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Well, today we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. One, because you have a MD background, right? MD background, which is of course is cool because I think a lot of times when it comes to holistic medicine, people are always like, what's the science behind it? Like, let's talk to the expert. So we're definitely going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about just Yoni steaming in relation to motherhood and then sex when it comes to marriage. So the whole shebang, y'all.
Yes.
Okay.
Get it, girl.
But yeah, so I guess we can start with the Yoni steaming side of. We talked about it last week, but just your perspective coming from the medical side of Yoni steaming. Like I know there are probably people out there that are like, Yoni steaming, what's the science behind it? Like, is it backed up by medicine? Is it all of the things? Like, what made you? Because I think it's kind of rare where you meet somebody that also has the traditional school and that side of things, like as far as being licensed and then saying, hey, but I'm still in the holistic world.
I think Yoni steaming from the medical perspective, most like physicians, there's a few times we've had a few people come in that actually say like their gynecologist told them they should steam, but that's not really often, right? Because Western medicine is very much like, what can I give you? What kind of drug?
Throwing out disclaimer.
We don't treat nobody.
Yoni steaming is not meant to
diagnose.
diagnose.
Or anything like that.
Like, let's throw in the disclaimer. Okay, now we're ready to go. Or replace your primary care doctor.
We are not doctors.
We are not doing
seek,
that in here. Please seek further assistance, and we
from
will
your
tell
medical
you to do
service
so.
provider.
Okay.
Okay.
All that being said, we I think it's really good for just whole care. You know what I'm saying? Like you go see a gynecologist nowadays, you really only have to go like every 3 years. And so that being true, I know I used to be once a year.
Mine once a year.
No,
Well-
they're trying to encourage you to go once every 3 years. now.
For your
Oh
pap
wow,
smear.
that's a long time to wait for a pap smear.
Yeah, but you don't, because it's not, anyway, that's not the point of this
Okay.
conversation. So, but, so with that being said, you kind of just like leave her to her own devices unless something goes wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right,
saying.
and so yoni steaming is a very good way to kind of just give her nice gentle cleanses and to disinfect if you like. It's more so like a gentle, it helps her do what she does best.
Okay.
Because
It's like an oil
everything
change
else,
for your
exactly, because everything else we do doesn't necessarily help our bodies to do what it does best.
Gotcha.
So yoni steaming is a way to help her do what she does best.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, from the mother's perspective too, well, I find it interesting. I think the first time I even like read about yoni steaming, I was like, oh, like it's beneficial for women after they give birth because of all of the things, and they should do it to kind of like bounce back, so to speak. Like, what does that look like? Especially because that's, you have that perspective too.
And new. Miguel just had a
Yes.
baby. She is still
I
postpartum.
am still postpartum.
How long is considered postpartum?
It's a year.
Yeah.
Girl, it should be like 3 years. I'm sorry. Anyway,
I've heard it
But
definitely should be 2 years.
It
for sure.
definitely, because you're not right. Like
I've heard
they
that.
tell you like, oh, you 6 weeks postpartum, you ready to go, and you be like, child, what? Who had
A lot of my friends, I have a lot of friends that are mothers, but the ones that I do that are around my age, it's like they were like, yeah, it took to like year 2 for me to just really like and to get back to myself.
A
I'm
lot
like,
of that
what?
has to do because the baby is changing so
Yeah.
much. So even when you think you got like a new plan, you think it's going well,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden the baby like throw off. He not
See.
sleeping right. He want to eat too much.
Okay.
Like it's too much stuff, and so he keeps having his cycles for like a year and a half. So you can't get your life because
My heart
got
goes
that
out
life.
to all the mamas because
It's pretty much. You just confused. But what I can say was my first child, I didn't know anything about yoni steaming,
Okay.
right? So I did the regular way, which was, and I actually didn't even do the sitz bath because they tell you to do the sitz bath,
Yeah.
which helps you to like kind of heal the perineum and stuff. And it actually is based.
What is the perineum?
The perineum is the little space between your vaginal opening and your rectum. So that's the part. That's the part
He's
that
just
gets torn when you have a baby,
okay.
right? It's the part, and if it doesn't get torn, I know, I'm sorry, y'all, or it gets stretched.
I'm just
it's
like-
a part of the process. It's the part that gets stretched out, or even if. Okay, real talk. Since we on your station,
I was like,
we on your station. So if the man's stuff is really big, legit, or if he rammed too hard, that's the part that's gonna get messed up. I'm just trying
I
to
don't
tell y'all
have nothing
straight.
to say about that.
Them 9
So
inches, ladies.
I'm just saying. So what happens is,
I had so many things to say. I'm just
Go
like,
for it.
it's okay. She don't want to.
Okay.
So anyway, that's the part that gets messed up. So what they do tell you to do is sit in
That's
like
so
some warm
Yeah.
water, and it usually has like they have like sit sprays and all this kind of stuff. But that's herbal based too, because
Yeah.
technically herbs, as much as they're not medicine for Western medicine purposes, they're medicine.
Yeah.
So they have side effects and all the rest of that stuff too. And so
Herbs?
if you and so even
Hence
when
why they can your fork is making you feel real euphoric.
See,
That's true.
And
then
even
when
when you
they're
go
like,
to the
you
doctor-
can only have this many in 24 hours.
what? See, and when
Well,
you go to
they
the
tried,
doctor and
though.
they ask you, what do you
herbs.
take? What herbal
That makes
supplements do
sense.
you take? Because all of them kind of like
Because then it could be a what they call a contraction or
Contraindication.
contraindication. Okay.
Mhm.
I always
So anyway, so okay, my first kid, I didn't know anything about steaming, so I just kind of did the regular stuff, witch hazel, pads, and the 9 or whatever. And then when I had little man, we.
so cute, by the way.
He is.
So cute.
Anyway, Anisha, she hooked me up with a nice postpartum blend, and the postpartum blend was delicious. I can say that steaming, that's my word, steaming postpartum was very much as it is healing because of the herbs, it was very much at getting back to yourself
Up on an emotional level.
on an emotional
Okay,
level,
that
because
makes sense.
you kind of, my first go round, it takes a minute because so much is happening with your kid,
Yeah.
so much is happening with whoever else around you, so
Yeah.
so much of you is out here, and you really have to it takes a minute to get back over here. And yoni steaming was really like, hey girl, come
Hey,
talk,
this
come
is your
talk to us.
time.
And so I came, and one of the things I told Anisha right after, I was like, girl, it was like I just felt all brand new. I was like ready.
Girl.
Mhm.
Somebody, okay, I don't want to get sidetracked, but somebody said, wow, really? And I think that was about the
Probably.
probably about the large,
The 9 inches.
the large 9 inches. I'm assuming that's what she was talking about. She said, "Wow, really?" Okay, I just saw it coming across, and I want to make sure.
I mean,
Somebody put the eyes. Who is Royal Robert?
Girl, Royal Robert is my cousin. If he's having a good time with you.
I was like, "Who's this, sir?" Okay, we'll talk offline. No, I'm just kidding.
She said offline.
But no, that's interesting though. I just find it as I've gotten older, and I'm like now my friends, I'm in that age group where my friends are having kids. It's like you just don't. There's so many things you don't know about motherhood.
Yep.
You don't realize how much it affects women. To where I'm just like, wow, my mom had us, and they was working and married, and I can barely sustain myself. But I'm like,
it gives you a great appreciation for your mother.
Thanks, Mom.
Exactly. And when you become a mother, it just like changes your whole. You love your mother before that. As you get older, you love her more.
Yeah.
But then when you have kids, you just be like, oh, Mom.
so what would you recommend as far as self-care on the sexual health and yoni side for postpartum women?
Yoni steaming
yeah.
and yoni eggs.
Ooh, so how would the yoni eggs work? What does that
Because
look
you gotta
like
tighten
for?
all that stuff back up. Real talk. You asked. And I won't lie, I told Anisha, I was like, you better put a whole bunch of tightening herbs inside of this. And I don't care about the rest of that stuff. I mean, I should, but I was like, tighten that bug back up.
Not tighten it back up.
Tighten it back up. I mean, it's gonna heal and it'll do it, but nah, it tighten it up. But also, it helps to cleanse. It helps to cleanse.
I need more of this drink.
I'm just saying. And
we only 5 minutes in.
5 minutes in, and we already. You see, y'all supposed to tell me where my limits
No,
are.
that's why I love coming up.
But so it gets you in tune with you, and by getting in tune with you, you're very. Because a lot of sexuality, I think, and the sensuality too, is about you and your perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as a mom, if I spend so much time worried about everybody else, I never really think about my sensuality. I never think about my sexuality. That's why moms walk around in tights and all the time, because you're not really thinking about it like that. Unless something happens and it's like, oh snap, I'm supposed to get cute for you today. Oh, hold on, let me think that through. And so until your kid is older. And so steaming kind of really puts you back in that
it's
space.
like a fast track.
It's like, who am I? Yeah. What
it
do I
sounds
want?
like women need to have kids and leave for 5 months and I mean, I know that sounds extreme, but it's like she's not disagreeing.
She's like,
I know other cultures too. So I just read this book called, I can't remember the exact title. It's a small red book, and it's about intimacy in African cultures. Mm-hmm. And it was just saying how everything is like a community. Everything is like, you have a child, that's my child.
Right.
You're getting married, that's my marriage. To the extent you're invested.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that's missing in Western culture. Is
have all that.
You have a child, and it's cool. I'll see you next week, and it's I really need somebody. I really need somebody here.
Those moms come over for months at a time.
I've heard other cultures so
literally
they'll
come
rotate
over
weeks.
And stay, for months at a time. The first mom of the mom, and then the mom of the dad will come over.
But then even a lot of times, even here, your mom wants to do that. The stereotype is your mom wants to come and you get away.
Yeah.
Right? But
I don't
truthfully,
see myself doing it.
Truthfully,
as much as I know them,
if she is helpful and respects your boundaries, then it is tremendously helpful to have her there. The problem is a lot of times our moms don't respect our boundaries.
Okay.
And so when you already
as a new mom,
you don't. So the problem a lot of times is the first time you have kids, you don't know what you need.
Yeah.
You don't know what you need. You can't say what your mindset gonna be.
Yeah.
And so it's as you figuring it out and you telling people, you need them to respect that. Your mom is gonna keep trying to tell you all the stuff she knows. And you're I ain't got time for that, lady. I'm just trying to get my life. I'm trying to survive. And
she said a group of girls and talk about things. Oh, they having a whole nother conversation. I'm trying to keep up.
They want to try yoni steaming.
Oh, we should do that.
One person said she would have not made it without her mom.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just seen it. Okay.
Mine.
Yeah.
The first time.
Okay. So it was I'm trying to keep up with both of them.
I'm watching both of them. I got you.
Okay, I'm here down. I'm sorry.
I got
it's
you.
the Sagittarius. I was okay, what? Okay, I'm not getting up again.
Okay. I have a question.
No.
Look, pick me. So, going from being single to married as far as sensuality and sexuality, because when you're single,
You don't want to talk about it.
You
Talk
can
to
be like,
people. We need to know.
you can be like single and sexy when you want to, but at the end of the day, like, you're going home. You're not with him full time. So like, how does that work? Going to or moving in with someone and like having to continuously be your best, you know, for lack of better terms, your
How you
best
keep it
sexy.
spicy?
Yeah, like all the time.
Why you say like all the
like all the time.
He gonna have to leave.
We talking about pre-kids?
Yeah, pre-kids.
Oh, both.
Newly married, because we have a lot of people in our age group that are just getting married.
Okay.
So like,
That's
how
true.
do you go from being single and, like I said, putting on your best face for him all the time to now you're in the house with him, right? And
Just
you don't
don't
want
want
him
him
seeing
to-
some of the stuff that's natural for you to do. Like, you want to still keep it cute. Like, how do you do that?
Well, so first off, I would tell you don't do what you just said.
Okay.
I am a complete in disagreement of like, I always put on my best face for you because that's fake.
Okay,
Like,
Right.
at the end of the day, if y'all are in a serious relationship, he should see you without makeup on.
Mhm.
He should have seen you in your bonnet. He should have seen you in your pajamas before. Like, because I can't get married to you and you think I'm supposed to wake up like. when
But
you're
people
in a
do it
different world all
though.
the time.
Yeah, they do.
There are
And
people
the
that
problem
do that.
is, the problem with that is you never fully feel okay in you because
Mhm.
you're too busy trying to put on a front for him.
That's true.
And a lot of your sexuality, what I've learned. So I've been married. She asked me this question because I've been married for, let me think how long it is. 13 years now, and a lot of you being ready is about you and your mindset. Like, legit.
Yeah, I hate she stopped talking and just looked straight at me.
I did, because you weren't saying nothing. It's about you and your mindset. Like,
I don't have
you
no
can't-
dog in this fight.
Right, like because some days you feel sexy, some days you got it all together and you with it all the way, and then sometimes you just don't feel that way.
Yeah.
And so it becomes a what does sexy mean to me kind of situation. And I had to learn literally, because my husband, and a lot of times too, women, we feel like, oh, we have to do all of this. But then the dude who you married to don't feel like you got to do all of this. Like, he married to you.
True.
He know who you are. He know you went to the restroom and did number 2. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he married to you. And so it's like, you can legit, my husband had to teach me that. He was like, but you can go in these sweats and that's okay. And that t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, I'll never forget. I had just some bantu knots on my head. And they was not right because it was to dry my locks. And I was like, we gonna go, he was like, we're gonna go to the store. I said, what? Like this? And he was like, yeah, you look good. I was like, lying to me. Right. I was like, if you say so. But a lot of it has to do with he thinks you're beautiful from the inside, right? And so when you realize I'm sexy is really just legitly
It's
like
the energy.
it's an energy. So I'm sexy regardless of what I have on.
Yeah.
Now when I add some extra stuff to it just make it even more. Right, exactly.
Talk about it.
I got you, boo. That's all I'm looking at you. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you just make it even more, but it starts on the inside. So if you're not radiating it already, then...
But do you feel like, to Anisha's point, that you do have to put some intention or effort behind it by, like, keeping it going? Like, I know,
You definitely
I feel
do.
like even with friends that I've had that have moved in before they've gotten married, like, people getting ruts, you know? And
It's
then,
because
like,
you get
kids
comfortable.
come. Yeah, so it's
It's like I see you all the time. So
Yeah.
now you even see me in my pajamas, so I can just wear them up, forget you.
So it's like, did you ever, I don't know if it's like too personal of a question, did you ever go through that lull?
Just make me talk. Go ahead.
Okay.
We're waiting for it.
Okay. Did you ever go through that lull of like feeling like you weren't sexy or feeling like the sexual energy wasn't there in general? And then like what did you do to like get back
So
to
where Anisha wanted me to go anyway.
She was waiting for me to ask.
Like, she was. When I got married, I was a virgin.
Okay. That's a whole nother perspective. We
It
should have
is.
just started there.
Sorry. So anyway, when I told her it has to come up for me to So anyway, when I got married, I was a virgin, and a lot of the way, and I don't suggest this for anybody who's celibate or who is abstinent or whatever, I would literally suggest yoni steaming. But a lot of the way that I handled being a virgin and like waited till I was married was literally kind of not thinking about myself in those terms.
Yeah,
I was
you don't know
cute,
how to find
I was fly,
yeah.
but I don't need to be thinking about sexy, because if I get too far in this train of thought, then we gonna go somewhere I'm not really trying to go.
True.
And so when I got married, he was like, okay, so come on.
Light switch.
What's up? You know, and I was like, and I had to realize, wait, I don't really know myself in these terms.
Yeah.
And when I realized that, I actually ended up going to S Factor. It was the original pole dancing company.
Oh, I think I
And
okay.
So they didn't have mirrors. The whole idea of S Factor, which is amazing. I'm so sad they left Houston, but the whole idea of S Factor is more so about you getting in touch with you.
Yeah.
It's about your inner sexy, and how does she feel, kind of thing. And so there's no mirrors. The only way you know that something looks real good is the other girls in the room have to they do basically do cat calls and all this other real stuff.
Okay.
But they let you know, like, hey sis, you looking, you're doing the thing. So I went to S Factor, and it really helped me kind of just tap into myself in a way that I wasn't. And then it allowed me to start to get in that frame of mind.
Yeah.
Okay, sexy is based on my frame of what is my version of sexy. And so as I got out of that kind of space of that rut of not knowing me, then it made it easier for our sex life. And then to keep it going is a very much, old lady said, and it's completely true, you just be ready to try new stuff. Real talk. It's like as you go down the journey, it's like, oh, okay, so we gonna try that? Oh, okay. Okay,
because if we get this thing together, it's like we might as well.
Yeah. And truthfully, and then even to the same fact, I'll be real honest with y'all, since y'all got my business in this. Like I hadn't gone into like an erotica store or anything like that.
That's interesting.
Because I was trying to not think about that. So in an effort not to think about that, I wasn't thinking about that. And so when we got married, we would go, and my husband was very much like, let me take my paces however I wanted to take it. And so
he
eventually,
sounds like such a patient.
he was very patient.
That makes sense. Why
He was very patient and loving, and allowed me to get my life together. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, but so then it became like, okay, so then we just walk in the rocker store and just be looking around cities and be
which
like,
is a cute date.
It's a very good date, because y'all see stuff, y'all can talk about it, and then the people can tell you about it, and she can
it's a quick way to get in the mood if you aren't already in the mood.
If you're not already, and then like to experiment, because some stuff you look at half crazy, and then the lady explained it to you, and you still looking at it, and then you walk off a little bit and come back.
And you come back like, what's wrong?
We gonna do this? Okay.
We might as well.
What flavor you had said?
You said something that made me think about not just different levels of like intimacy, or like how you choose to be intimate, even with like on the celibate side of things. Because I found that women in general, whether it's celibate, not celibate, or virgin, abstinent, whatever, it's like we haven't found ways to be sensual and sexual without necessarily having to literally be sexual.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a lady about that today, because she was just asking me like what made me start Untamed, and I was like, well, I just feel like women have not had a space where we can explore our sensuality and sexuality without it being tied to like somebody else.
That's
like
legit. Even
even with celibacy, like I have friends who are celibate, and it's like, but they're still like sensual people. Like, you're still a sexual being. So that's just interesting you talked about that. I think some people struggle, especially women, when we decide, okay, we may want to be celibate for a while. It's like you got to shut it all off, and then you just like in this like stern mode, and it's like you can still be sensual and sexual without having sex with other people.
Right. One of the things.
Paris Chanel from Untamed said, "I've been married almost 4 years, making time for each other, even if it's just to cuddle."
That's exactly right.
Especially in this weather.
It's definitely like to cuddle, and then like you want the little text messages here and there, because it's almost like you have, because y'all are so connected in life all the time, you need like a little reminder throughout the day. Hey, I'm thinking about you like this, and so you just build on it all day, because it's not the same as when you were dating, and you should date each other. Like, you legit need to go on dates where it's y'all are dating each other. Y'all are taking a moment to hold hands and all that good stuff. To what you were saying, one of the things I really had to learn, it was being sensual and sexy was about me.
Yeah.
So even like you're saying, Untamed is a safe space. Like you wear lingerie for yourself. You don't have to wear it for somebody else all the time.
And that was the premise, because even with going to sex shops, I was like, it's not really like women friendly in here. Like it's just like very male focused, just like
male orgasm driven.
Yeah.
Right. How can he get an orgasm?
It's just like, but what about me? And not that women are not having orgasms, though that even though the studies say that women are.
No, a lot of women are not having orgasms. That's just straight up. Like for real. And I've had to have chakra readings where I'm like, oh, boo, I see what's wrong with you. You need to have orgasms, and a lot of them. And people are like, she told me just to have sex. No, I told you to orgasm during sex.
But that's important too, and I don't want to be too TMI, but I think when it comes to like chakras and like moving energy, that is
Kundalini.
necessary. And I'm only saying that because I've gone through periods where I haven't been celibate, but I'm just like, I'm good. Like I'm focusing on me, or I'm in super work mode, and I can feel the energy just like stagnant.
And
I'm like, nah, you're gonna have to figure it out. I don't know how you're gonna figure it out, but
that's what one of the things I learned when I first started Yoni Steaming with Anisha is sexual energy doesn't necessarily have to be sex. It's legitly like creative energy that you use for passion. So like tap into that and use it in another place. And I think when you're abstinent and you're celibate, it is stagnation. That's what you're gonna say. But it's stagnation because you're not harvesting that energy. Exactly.
Yeah.
So use it. Use it to create
use
something
that energy,
amazing.
y'all.
Use something to see, don't that. See, it got you, girl. I be listening. See, I told you.
I'm so proud.
So hilarious.
But if we can, just to show y'all like a quick little exercise, from this tantric instructor over here. So put your hand down.
Who's a tantric instructor?
She is.
You know?
Girl, been there. Listen, whole sex coach over here.
Whole sex coach over there. She don't.
I know we're talking about next episode.
Okay, so if you just do me a favor, and it's gonna look crazy, and y'all gonna hear some crazy stuff online. But if you just put your hands in the air. Ladies,
wax my underarms.
And then literally like just kind of bring down that energy, right? Like we just gonna do a few of these, and then all of a sudden like just bring it down and then say yes. So you know how in those shower commercials when you hear the girl, she's like yes,
you're loud on your pod. Somebody calling you.
No, stop calling.
We're gonna have to fix it.
Okay. Here we go. Okay. So we're pulling our arms down and we yes. But it sounds crazy. But if you do that in the mirror, do you feel that energy kind of like revving up in your body? No, seriously. So
I legitimately did feel it.
Yeah, so that's a good little exercise for those that are on our live. Like if you're feeling that stagnant flow and already that energy is up and you're ready to go. And do that for a full minute, and your man gonna be like, "Girl, what you doing?
What we doing?" I don't know what you was too. But you were saying something about like the little keep in touch throughout the day type of thing. So there's a coach that I follow. He does like these podcast episodes like once a week, or once a month, and one was about it was like called The Art of Sensuality or something like that. And on there, he was saying. When he's been married to his wife, probably as long as y'all been married, like they got married young, and he was saying throughout the day, he was like, I try to keep that intimacy up, especially if we're in the house together, but we may not be in the room together. He's like, it might be me touching her on back when I walk by the room to go do something, or I might, touch her hand, or I might do this, like keeping those little touches up throughout the day, so that when you do see each other later, it's like been built up.
Right. Exactly.
Fellas need to be, everybody needs to be.
Everybody.
Not just
because women too. They be like, I don't want to just be the one sitting you say, what about me?
Well, because that's what, and he was saying, I think, like, it kind of goes to what you were saying, too, keeping that energy going, where you're like, okay, let me keep it going throughout the day, so when we see each other, it doesn't have to be a ton of build-up, because it's like, okay, we've been talking all day, like, let me know, how's your day going? Cool. Good. Got it. Exactly.
So I have other questions, right? So... A lot of women come in and they're newly married and they go through this, like their yoni goes through a whole new, it's a honeymoon phase, right? So you're going from having sex maybe once a week to now having sex every day. and your yoni's feeling a little tired, or you know, different things happen because your body does go through changes when you go from sex once a week or every other week to sex on a daily basis, right? You in this honeymoon phase, y'all living it up. And so, like, how can yoni steaming, or what are ways in which, do you remember that time?
I'm waiting for you to ask the whole question.
I don't even know, but you know, like,
I guess he's saying, like, what's the, how do you
your
manage
yoni
that?
okay?
yeah, like, how do you have an okay
like,
yoni? I don't know. But you know what I'm trying to say, like,
You should definitely yoni steam once a week.
okay.
Except for with your cycle. No, but you should yoni steam once a week. The moisture and the tightening and the cleansing that yoni steaming provides will allow you to keep that kind of environment. You definitely want to pee every time you have sex, because the more often you're doing it, the more likely you'll get a UTI, a urinary tract infection. I'm sorry. And to be honest, you might have to get sometimes, so the outside could get dry, right? And so you might need like a lubrication, a lubricant of some sort. I like System Joe. I don't think Anisha do, so
What is that?
System Joe is a lubricant. So System Joe is a lubricant brand, right? But he was originally made for, you had to have a prescription to have it. Now you can buy it in any erotic store you want to. But or Panty Cake is technically a lubricant as well, because it's coconut oil. So if you want to do a more natural situation, you could use like a coconut oil or something for moisturization, just so that she doesn't get dry, because she'll get dry.
How do you break the stigma around
and drink lots of water?
How do you break the stigma around lubrication? Because I feel like for some people it may be like a shot to the ego on both sides, like the woman's side and the man's side. Like, what do you need lube for? Like, I'm not I'm not getting you there, or I can't get there, and now you're feeling the kind of way.
A lot of medically speaking,
she's not
lubrication. We're not healing nobody though. Is a lot of water. So if I'm dehydrated, my body is gonna take the water I have and use it where it's necessary, and your body gonna be like, she not necessary. And so it's more like your blood flow is more necessary than you have a lubrication in that area or whatever.
That's
so
the problem. Look,
so
drink y'all water.
So you gotta, drinking a lot of water is a lot of the issue. And then women and people in general, because men a lot of times we like to talk about it like, oh, only women get to the place where you have to be mentally there, emotionally there. But men are the same way in a monogamous relationship. Like, they can legitly have issues because of whatever's going on.
Yeah.
And so just kind of keeping your mind there, the little touches throughout the day, and lots of water. But lubricate, there's nothing wrong with lubrication. Lubrication don't have to be the other person's fault or anything like that. It literally is just,
I think it's just a good way to break the stigma, because I do think people do have that.
yeah, they're like,
that,
but
like,
you should
what do you need this
right,
for? Even
right.
with toys, I think.
Right.
I know it's not related to what we're talking about. Well,
It's okay.
don't
No,
do
it is.
I guess it is.
Because what you
People
need that
feel a way
for.
about toys, especially men. Men, y'all get sensitive when women are like, let's bring toys in, or I used my toy when you weren't here, and it's like, you weren't here. So
think of a toy as a helping hand to you. Men. Because that's what it is.
It's
like
it's
you could be doing a whole do, but you might need to use your hands to hold her waist. And so she can use a toy to do something else. You ain't even gotta use all your feet. So I'm just saying.
I don't even have nothing to say. I'm like the music in the background. I'm like, okay, well.
See, y'all can't ask me that. Talk about these things.
No, I think that's important.
Yeah.
So, what would you say to?
Oh, and a yoni egg helps with lubrication as well.
Can y'all explain this? Yeah, I was like,
You answer that question. I'm not sure. I know it works. I don't know exactly. I'm assuming it's because it's so because she said blood and oxygen circulation, because you're working those muscles, so you're constantly using those blood and oxygen circulation.
And that flow again, that stimulates. So as you release and contract and release and contract, you're still that stagnation is being. You're moving
as you use it on a regular basis. That kind of oxygen flow stays. So it's almost like steaming in the sense of like as you do it regularly. It continues. You should definitely use your. It changes your whole life,
especially that carnelian and that deep amethyst.
It changes your
what
whole
is this sacral
life.
chakra?
You said the deep amethyst,
like this deep purple amethyst color.
What is that one gonna do?
Yoni steam make you feel sexy, and yoni eggs.
Ooh, that one's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
The one you had last
This is a
pretty
deep
too.
amethyst color. Mm-hmm. I love amethyst yoni eggs, but they like legitly.
I know.
I was like, you were looking at it. I was like, you want?
It's just so pretty. I think what always throws me off too is that like crystals are cold to the touch. Random, I have like one of those jade rollers for my face, and every time I put it on my face, I'm like,
but yoni eggs don't stay cold at all. Them must warm
I'm
up
sure they
quickly.
don't.
Because if you hold it in your hand for a few seconds, it's gonna take on the temperature of
whatever
the temperature around it. So your hand is warm. So sometimes we get these back after a woman has like
Been
held
holding
it
in
to
her hand.
to
They be
just
hot.
feel it, and they're hot because her energy is hot and spicy, and and how do waist beads make you feel sexy, Mia? Do they make you feel sexy?
They make me feel. They make me feel sexy. Yes.
Okay.
I think.
Waist beads are just sexy. They just look sexy.
They look sexy,
Yeah.
and then it's almost like the fact that they look sexy, and it's almost like you have a secret that nobody else has.
Yeah.
Or they don't
But
know.
then it's like when you do share the secret,
then it's like, hey, right? And so I think it's just that whole constant reminder of you and your sexiness.
Yeah.
And it's all day. So when it moves, you feel it. You're like, yeah.
Okay, do you have any advice for new moms? And then do you have advice for new wives? As far as sexuality is concerned.
To both, take your journey. Don't let anybody make you feel like your journey's supposed to look one way or another. Because on both sides of both of those questions, everybody's journey looks different. To the wives, y'all might not like what I'm about to say, but to the wives, I always tell people they lie to y'all. So if you finna get married,
What they lie to us
they lie
about?
because
Let us know.
everybody makes it sound like, oh, you get married and it's like, oh, yeah. But most people don't have a honeymoon phase. Most people's honeymoon phase takes years to get to them. Real talk, I'm not lying. A lot of
To be
times,
single and childless.
a lot of times, people don't have like 2 years of honeymoon phases. Now, people who do, that's awesome. Ride the wave. Ride it for however long it is, whatever it is. Do whatever y'all feel good with, especially before you have kids, because they change the whole paradigm of your whole life. I said that like it was bad, but
That's how I feel. I'm like,
and then if you don't have a honeymoon phase, that's okay. Work through whatever those issues are, and know that your honeymoon phase will come. So as y'all ride your wave too, like however that looks for you, because it doesn't look the same for everybody, and that is okay. With new motherhood, snatchback is mostly a lie. You're not gonna jump back like that. Normal people don't.
y'all about to say, unless you tell you I'm single, 'cause
Right.
I don't know what.
Most people don't, and even if your body does, your mind
Yeah.
and the inside of your body is not. And that's okay. You are legitly, that is okay. A lot of times we feel like it's not okay. Oh my God, I look like this now, or oh my God, I feel like this, or I'm not in touch. That's okay.
Yeah.
Take your journey one step at a time, and the first thing you can do in both sides of that's best for you is connect with you. Where are you? Where are you? Why are you here? And as you connect with you, all the rest of that stuff will come. Literally, even with the little people, you need you time. Even away from your husband, you need you time.
That's for the men listening too. Give y'all wives and the mother of y'all
she
child
need a moment.
time. A moment.
She need a moment. And
What would that
will
moment do for you
because it
later?
blesses your whole life. No, on
Give
both
her a moment
sides.
now, so you can have a
Legit, because
moment.
if she, as a new mom, she tired, she tripping out, this whole person is her responsibility. And then when she has a moment to breathe, to reconnect with herself, even if she go yoni steam, she go have Motherhood, she go wear some lingerie by herself, just sit in a room.
Yeah.
And because a lot of women just sit in the restroom, be trying to hide, right? If you give her a moment, then she can come back and she can give you a whole bunch of them. Okay? But she
That is
has
a
to
word.
be
That's her
be
moment.
connected with her, otherwise
Yeah.
it's not gonna work out. And to the new wife, the same thing is true. If she having a problem, if there is a struggle, if sex ain't on her mind, help her get it on her mind. Not by jumping her boots. Not by being like, hey,
It's like easing
hey,
the
baby.
mental
No,
things.
no. the mental
Once had
stuff.
someone tell me that that I dated, we were just talking about past things.
Yeah.
And so he was just like, yeah, I realized there were certain times I could have just made your life easier, and then I would have got what I wanted.
Exactly.
Like, especially if you're dealing with somebody, if the woman is working, if she's doing different things, you cannot necessarily expect to just come home and jump her bones, but it's like, let me make sure the house is clean, let me make sure there's some wine poured for her, and then you can get what you want. So my thing's also on us women too, as we learn to be able to advocate for ourselves, to be like, hey, I need a moment.
And you
like,
have
people aren't gonna know
that you need
until
a moment.
say,
Until
hey,
you say
like,
so. That's
I had a long day at work. Just 30 minutes, and whatever you need, I got you. I just need 30 minutes.
The
Like,
same
I
is
just
true
need time.
in the
Like,
bedroom, though.
Yeah.
Because even after you have a kid, right, your body is different. So something that used to work might not work no more. You have to be honest.
Yeah.
Even if it feels awkward or embarrassing, you have to be honest.
Yeah.
He won't know unless you tell him.
Communication is a big thing.
100%.
Ooh, random. What's pregnancy sex like?
It depends on the pregnancy. Pregnancy sex can be completely amazing. It honestly, it depends on the pregnancy. So like every pregnancy is different. So some pregnancies you could be like hella horny, and it could be like hella lubricated all the time, like you just ready. Right? And then some pregnancies it's like, oh, it's way too sensitive, I can't. Like, and then you had the other kind where some people like they have cervical issues, and so then they can't really have sex, and so then it turns into a different thing. That's
I think that was a good thing too, is realizing that like each pregnancy will be different. Which I've heard every woman say, but I don't think you'll realize until you're pregnant. But
you don't realize to what extent it can be different.
Yeah.
Because my pregnancies were drastically different. So
it just makes me just want to continue to
I always just
operate my single.
When it's time, it's
exciting.
time.
Yeah.
And then
but I guess it's
it'll
affirmation too, of like making sure you choose the right partner, because life is gonna take you on a whirlwind.
Definitely.
And you need somebody that's gonna understand
yes.
all of the things that women go through, plus just being accommodating and having like.
So I don't care about all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody don't.
This was juicy.
You got one more question?
No.
Okay. Okay, goodbye.
No. Reintroduce yourself. She's like, okay, goodbye.
Is it time?
Yeah.
It is
awesome. I know. I feel like we need to.
I definitely thought it had been like 20 minutes.
This is
It
good.
did not seem like we were talking that long.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank y'all for
That's
watching.
crazy.
I know.
I was
Reintroduce
definitely
yourself.
Okay. I'm Miguel Douglas. Again, I am the general manager in all things at Honey Dip, except for the owner, obviously. And then I am the owner of Peace Beloved 419.
So where can they find you online?
They can find me on Instagram as well as on Facebook at Peace Beloved 419.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I am Sheridan Labbe, owner of Untamed Lingerie. So get it. You can find us Untamed Lingerie everywhere. So.
Oh, and tell your kin euphoric.
Yes,
your
kin. One more time, if you wanted to try kin, these are natural, non-alcoholic drinks that will also get you in the mood. Get you flowing. I know. The code is Sheridan Labbe for Bliss 10. I know it's really long, guys. But if you go to my Instagram, if you DM me, I will send you the link or send you the code. If you DM either page. I know that was kind of long to type. My name is long. So, but thank y'all for tuning in. We'll be back next Tuesday with more stuff. I'm excited.
Me too.
I'm excited.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop our live.
Thank y'all for
We're going to
tuning
end
in.
here.
See y'all later.
And we are going to